How long have you been in Life Vantage, Gail?
2 2
Two
years.
years.
Yeah. February 2009.
Oh, wonderful. All right, it looks like we are on Facebook Live. Thank you so much, Dr. Gail Pearson, for being here today. And so we have a Facebook group called My LV Story. And so we want to deliver value to our community. And so we're bringing experts like yourself who have experience in our product and nutrigenomics. And really, people are curious, what is a doctor doing as a distributor in Life Vantage? So I was wondering if we could start by you sharing your story and how you got started in Life Vantage and who introduced you.
Thank you very much, Josie. And it's a pleasure to be on here today to spread the word and to let people understand what this is really all about. My name is Gail Pearson. I'm an anaesthetist, which means I'm a specialist medical doctor, have been so for the past 30 years. I'm a mum of 3 daughters who are now in their 20s and a grandma as well. And I have a couple of fur babies, and I also have some cattle at the moment. So I like to be open to a lot of different things. And to me, this was just an extension of who I am. I was first introduced to these products in 2019, February, so that's 2 years ago. What happened was that, I'm a busy professional. I've had a very busy working life. I've been involved in hospital startups, in administration, design, as well as being chairman of the anaesthetic groups, as well as having a busy clinical practice, doing renovations. So busy, busy. I was in Europe and I fell off a bicycle and I broke my arm. I broke both my hands actually, and I needed to have 2 operations to those. What happened was that I was laid up for 3 months and I couldn't work and had to have an operation, which involved a huge plate coming down into my arm here. And I became exhausted afterwards. And I realized that I was actually burnt out, completely burnt out. I had had a very busy professional and private life, and there was just nothing in the tank, absolutely nothing. I talked to one of my friends, or one of my friends contacted me from Australia, and she said, Gail, listen, I've got something for you. And I said, well, I don't do natural stuff. I'm a doctor. I deal with anesthetic drugs. I understand them. I understand the human body. I understand pharmacology. I don't know if I'm ready for that sort of thing. And anyway, I like the science. She said, Gail, there is science behind this. There are peer-reviewed studies which are product specific and are independent. So it's not like a drug company doing their own trials. These are independent studies that have been done on this product. So my brain just went, hang on a minute, this sounds quite interesting. And because I had nothing else to do, I said, show me where the scientific papers are and I'm going to go through them. And I did. I went through every single paper, every single scientific paper that is on this product. And then my brain started to go, this is different. A switch flicked in my brain. It said, this is a new way of practicing medicine. This is a new way of healing, because we're healing from the inside out rather than the outside in. So we're no longer treating symptoms. We're actually going to get the body to treat itself. So I signed up as a distributor by just looking at the science. And when I looked at that, I thought, this is a no-brainer. So I hadn't even tried the product. I hadn't even got it in my hot little hand. And I thought that this was the way of the future, and I'm in so quickly. I just want to tell everybody about it. So my products arrived probably about 2-3 weeks later. And at that stage, I was really probably in quite a bad way. I was sleeping hugely at night. I'd have an afternoon nap for 2-3 hours. I had no motivation. I didn't want to have people around for dinner or lunch. My mood was at an all-time low. And I really was not feeling good about myself. Within 3 days of taking this product, something happened and my mood lifted. I stopped having those afternoon naps. My sleep was better. I woke up refreshed and ready to go. And I thought, I have never, ever had any supplement that's been natural that's done anything like this. So not only did I have the science, but then I had the effect as well. But because I believed in the science came first for me, but that's just because of who I am. And so what happened? I started to spread the word, to tell everybody what this is all about. And it is, I call it magical, and a lot of my distributors do, but I was in a bad way. And so obviously the effects were a lot more than if you were healthy and that you're fit. But if you're healthy and fit, it has the preventative angle to it. And it's like having a health insurance policy. In actual fact, it's better than having a health insurance policy because you're preventing anything happening.
Oh my gosh, I was just having goosebumps when you're talking about getting burnt out, because that's exactly what happened to me. I was working as a director of nursing for 17 years, workaholic, 50, 70 hours a week. And at the age of 46, I was completely burnt out and I didn't know anything. Although I'm a nurse, of course, we don't learn that. And so isn't it amazing that, that how the universe works? So you get to learn about this, and now you're impacting so many people around the world. So can I ask you, have you ever taken anything natural or any kind of supplements before you
Look,
encountered
yes,
this?
I've taken things like I've taken fish oil and I've taken turmeric and magnesium, things like that. So I've sort of, people go to the health food shop and they say to the lady who's behind the counter, what's good? And she says, oh, this is good. But she has no knowledge. There's no scientific background behind any of those products. And you're just taking someone else's word for it. So, and I didn't have any effect. So none of them, I was sort of thought, well, I'm not actually feeling anything from any of them. But it's not about the feel. And, I'm lucky because I had a feel. But I must stipulate and sort of stress that some people don't feel anything. And that's okay because we know that it's working. What they've done is they've done blood tests on people who are feeling absolutely hunky-dory and, fit and healthy. And they have shown that the oxidative stress levels decrease within a month by 40%. That's in fit, healthy people. So who didn't actually realize that they had anything wrong with them. And those are the precursors to medical conditions. And that's what we're doing. We're doing the prevention, which is very powerful.
Oh my goodness, that is so powerful. And so when you were looking at those studies, and I know that the peer review studies is one of the things that sets our product apart from everything else that are out there. So I've got a couple of questions here for you. So what did you find that is unique about Protandim that sets it apart from other supplements, apart from the peer review studies?
So it is a different science. It's a science called nutrigenomics, nutrition affecting your genes. Now, before, when we've had supplements, no one has done the connection. But what they've actually found is a genetic pathway, which is called the Nrf2 pathway, which is stimulated by Protandim. What does that Nrf2 pathway do? And it is quite complicated, and it's all explained in the scientific papers. They've even got the individual genes mapped on how much Protandim increases them if they're good genes, how much it decreases them if they're bad genes. So all the science is there. What they have shown is that this stimulates the Nrf2 pathway, which is a master genetic regulator. And so you are making your own antioxidant enzymes in every single cell of your body, as well as stimulating a lot of other good genes that you have in every single cell of your body. Now, that's something that is actually quite a difficult concept to understand. And I try and make it as easy as possible because the science is difficult. And I don't worry, I went into the science. Medical people are so skeptical, and me included. And so I went to the science team in the States and I went through some of these studies, which I was a bit sort of worried about. And I pinned them and I asked them specific questions. I went to one of the scientists in Melbourne. I wanted to know everything. And as I got the information together, I could understand it. And now my job, I feel, is to explain the science in a simple way, because the papers are medical, and you go to medical school to read scientific papers and read them easily, and that's okay, but it's not for every normal person who's just walking down the street. What I can say is that because it's a master genetic regulator, it's flipping on dormant switches. So that's genetic switches that have gone off to sleep as you age, and that's aging. And we all know that, your skin doesn't become as good, you're a little bit more wrinkly, you haven't got the go-getter, if you have a fall, it's not the same in your 20s and 30s as it is in your 50s and 60s. So it switches on those genes to make you be able to cope, to make you be able to cope with it better. You recover better from exercise, you sleep better, you have more energy. And so the two of them coming together is just magical.
Wow, those are really powerful inspiration, powerful words for sure. And we've got a lot of customers that are listening now, and I really hope that you want to delve more. Make sure you talk to the person who invited you here if you need more information. But Dr. Gail, there's some people out there that I have met. I've been in direct sales for 11 years doing nutritionals, and I've met so many people say, well, no, Josie, I don't need it. I'm okay. I'm eating pretty well. I have my 3 bananas in the morning. I'm good. What would you say to those people?
I say that people don't understand what their cells are doing. So let's have a look, because we've got the science behind it. We know what it does to your cells, and you can't feel it. So how do you feel if you've got a growth in your body? You don't feel that, do you? Until it's absolutely throughout the whole of your body. How do you feel if your cells are healthy? Well, you know your sleep is good. You know you have energy. This is not the be all end all. It is part of all over health. And I must stipulate that health is not just about one tablet. Health is about sleeping well. It's about eating well. So not going to having takeaways every night or going to a KFC, McDonald's. That's not good for you. Healthy food, which is full of vitamins and minerals. Drinking lovely water, so clean, fresh water. Stopping the pollutants around you, so air pollution. So what you're trying to do is to create the best way of living that you possibly can. And it's not just about one thing, it's multifaceted. And that's what people need to understand. This is and I'm not going to say it's icing on the cake, because I actually feel this is the cake. The other stuff is the icing on the cake and the cherry on the top. I feel this is the basis of everybody's cake, and everybody should be on it. It's just, I'm so passionate about it. It is preventative. It helps you cope better with infections. It helps you cope better with everything that comes to assault your body. And so, yeah, it's great.
I have got a lot of friends who are on these products, and one of them in particular works as a general manager. She used to be really stressed, and she goes, Josie, I don't know what it is, but feels like a happy pill for me. So, with that feedback, I'm so happy.
Yeah.
So, Dr. Gail, so if you're studying someone for the first time on the nutrigenomic products, what would you recommend them in general?
In terms of the products, I mean, we've got a wide variety of products, and I listen to what their issues are. What do they want help with? And what their budget is. How much do they want to spend on health and health going forwards? So you've got to marry the two. And it's all about prioritization. How much are they prepared to be fit and healthy? People are prepared to spend thousands of dollars going on an overseas holiday, which is over and done within a couple of weeks. Are they prepared to have long-term investment in their health? The absolute minimum is the Protandim Nrf2. That's the one I was talking about that makes the antioxidant enzymes in every single cell of your body. So that's the one that comes with the blue label. So that's the absolute minimum. And I would say that if you're really strapped, everyone should be on this. Everyone should be on that. The next one that I'd add, which in New Zealand I make sure that virtually everybody is on, is the Nrf1, which is a capsule with the silver label. Now, this one works at the mitochondria, and you might remember from your high school biology days that the mitochondria are the little energy sources. They're like little beings within the cell, and they're like the batteries of the cell. They breathe for the cell. They give the cell energy. As you age, they don't function as well. They die off. They don't connect as well. So this gives you mitochondrial energy, and this is acting at the genes, and both of them together act together within the cell to produce even more results than the individual agents alone. Okay, so that's my next step. In New Zealand, we have NAD, so because it's probably a lot of Australian customers here, I'm not going to talk about the NAD, but I also think that people should be aware of their gut health. And this company has a product called ProBio. Now, this is a really good product because a lot of the probiotics get broken down in the stomach acid. The stomach is extremely acidic. It breaks down a lot of the probiotics before they even get to where they're meant to be. Whereas this has a special capsule on it that gets it through the stomach acid and gets it delivered to where it actually needs to be in the small intestine. And it doesn't need to be kept in the fridge. So again, that's what I would call minimum, absolute minimum. And we've just introduced the omega fish oil. That's just come into Australia and New Zealand. And again, what this does is it looks at these cell walls. So we've got different ways of addressing cellular health, and all of them are important, and they all work together, and that gives you the optimum. I mean, I take all of these, including an NAD as well, which we've got in New Zealand. So that's what I would recommend, Josie. Absolute minimum Nrf2, best is Nrf1 and Nrf2. If you can go to increase the prebio as well, then that. And if you really can, do all four.
Thank you so much for that, Dr. Gail. We've actually got a lot of people from New Zealand and US as well. So would you just share, about the NAD?
So the NAD, now NAD is what they're starting to call the fountain of youth. What this does is it works on, it's an intracellular molecule. The NAD from Protandim is special because it works on a pathway that increases your levels of NAD by providing precursor, as well as recycling the NAD that's already there by stimulating enzymes. So it's quite different to any other NAD that's on the market. It has an edge, and we have the genetic studies, even down to specific genes of how it works. And when you put all three together, they have got the effects on specific genes, be they anti-inflammatory genes, be they NAD genes, be they mitochondrial biogenesis genes. And they will show you exactly how much they will increase. So if anybody from the USA or from New Zealand can do it, this Tri-Synergizer is what you should be on. And there is no question about it. You want cellular health, you've got to have this. That's an absolute basic.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dr. Gail. I do actually take all those products, and I feel so, so good. So I really appreciate your time. I know there's like tsunami over in New Zealand. I hope everything will be okay. So we really appreciate you. Is there any last words you want to say to our audience?
I think for people, I say to people, Nike, just do it. Because the more you start to think about things, the more your brain gets into it. This is a no-brainer. This is something that everybody should be on. It is health of the future. It's going to help you slow the processes of aging. It's going to help you with preventative health. And it's going to help you, if you're a high-end athlete, it helps you have more endurance, get better recovery from exercise. Everybody benefits from this, not just people aging, everybody. And I'm happy to talk about the science in more detail, but it does get a little bit overwhelming to a lot of people. So I just want to just get out there and say, just do it.
Thank you, Dr. Gail. Really appreciate you. And to our audience there, make sure you tag people and let them know about these powerful words from Dr. Gail. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.